Hey folks. I had dinner. I had a good business meeting, and it's not too late to post the fourth part of my Genesis collection. And I'm gonna I'm gonna try to talk a little because I have a lot to show. I want to start with showing you my programs. I just have a few. I've seen Genesis 6 times, never with Peter Gabriel. Seen Peter Gabriel 4 times at least. But I didn't get a program from each show. I didn't pull my T-shirts. I've got at least two. But the first tour that I actually thought to buy a program or had enough money to buy one was the Mama tour. And King's Drummer showed his the other night. His is in pristine condition. Mine's a little beat. Of course, bought it at the show, and oh, it was just an awesome show. Awesome show. Great program. I'll say right quick that I saw Trick of the Tail tour with Bill Bruford. That was the first time I saw them. That was breathtaking. It really was. It was still very mysterious and kind of scary when they got to watch Where the Skies and these huge eyeballs came up on the screens. It was mesmerizing. But I also saw the Seconds Out tour, and here is the beat up program for that. That was 1982. And this was wonderful when they were really getting the Very Lights together. And this was a great show. I'm trying to think if I had to tell you which tour I saw. When were they the best? The two tours that stand out the most in mind, they were all good, but the two that stand out the most was Trick of the Tail, and then this one, Duke. And my program is damaged. I used to have cats. I had 5 at one time, and just kind of let them overrun me, and they pissed on everything because I was, it's my own fault. I had 5 cats, was in a bunch of bands doing my thing. I didn't give them enough attention. They showed me. But this is the tour program from 1980, and Seconds Out now. Whichever Seconds Out, I saw that tour, the main part of that album, and then the three sides live. I saw that tour. The Duke was amazing. It really was, because I know I wasn't imagining it. The band were rejuvenated. They were really excited about the Duke material, really feeling like they were back on top of their game, and it was an awesome show. The next program was given to me because I couldn't go. But in 1982, the original Genesis got back together and did a benefit reunion show for WOMAD. And a friend of mine actually traveled over to England and went and brought me back the program. And look at who else appeared. Talk, John Martin. My God. And Steve Hackett showed up. Yeah, he showed up. He was not in, I don't believe he was invited. What's that all about, Genesis? Of course, I may have it wrong. And here's the famous Pete Frame Genesis tree. I need to get that book. But, and it even includes in here, well, there's the stage. I do have a boot of this show, of course. Just great. And then the We Can't Dance. I and none of the fans knew it at the time, but this was their last tour. That they had already broken up, but they had not announced it. And this was a stunning show. They had really, the lights and the screens, they were mega. And they were among the first of that size ever, anywhere. Leave it to Genesis. Again, just a couple more pictures here. It was a great show. And I got a VIP. I didn't get to go backstage, but I got a VIP pass, and I forget what I got for that. It must not have been much because I don't remember. And then before I go to the records, This is from Peter Gabriel when I saw the Secret World tour. That's David Rhodes's autograph. I met David just really briefly, but got his autograph. And this tour booklet was, in my opinion, poorly made because the seam or the it's coming apart, so I don't want to open it too much. But you know, it's made to look like a suitcase, kind of, which was a theme part of the stage. It was an excellent show. Okay, I want to show my albums, and that I have a few. So I'm going to start with their first album. My cover is not in pristine shape, but this is an actual original Genesis Degenerate Revelation. I've had the misfortune of having some, well, not misfortune, no. I've had the growing pained experience of having folks in the vinyl community inform me when I was incorrect about saying, this is the first edition. They'll tell me, no, it's not, da, 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 da. And so I've learned. I researched this, and this is a first edition, and I'll explain how I know. I was so glad that it was, because I thought it was. It was issued in 1969, and then the second pressing like this came out in 1970. Same number, SKL 4990. But the way that you know if you have an original is the label. The original Decca label, the Decca is not in a box. And there you have it. The second pressing, the Decca label is in a box. And believe me, if I had looked and found it was one with the box, I'd still be overjoyed. This is an original. You know what I'm saying? When I found this, this is okay. There's the answer to Andreas Grecian Thunder. There's the answer to your thread. See, I have so many records I can't remember. I shit when I found this. I did. I acted strange. I don't know what I did. I acted strange in the store. But I haven't had this. I've had this less than 10 years. I've been looking for it for so long. Consequently, I have had this for a long time, is the American pressing of From Genesis to Revelation. And no, sorry to say, neither of these has the insert. My original copy of the American had the insert, and did I sell it? I think I did. I'll tell you, folks, I have been out of my mind. I show these next because all of these are Genesis to Revelation. But what I understand is that Jonathan King, who had the hit Everyone's Gone to the Moon, he discovered Genesis, named them Genesis, paid for these first songs to be made, owned the publishing, just outright owns these songs. And so he has the ownership and licensure, which is why we have seen so many different versions of these songs. So here's one, Genesis with Peter Gabriel. Here's another one, Rock Roots. This one came out, pardon me, in the 80s, and it added the singles versions of Silent Sun and One-Eyed Hound, which was not on the original album. So those tracks are on here. And then here's an Italian version, Historia della Musica Rock. And this is Genesis to Revelation again. And because Jonathan King owns the licensing and the publishing, he can sell the rights to this to anybody he wants to, and he's done it time and time again. So those are all my copies of their first album. Next we have Trespass. I love this album myself. And I love the first album too, like Lazarus. I think the first album, people think it's twee or kind of Bee Gees wannabe. I think it's excellent. And they did. They wanted the Bee Gees to do those songs. That was their original idea, was to be songwriters, not a band. So this is a Japanese version of Trespass. I have to open this. And what you hear is I taped my plastic shut. That's what you hear me opening. I also have an American version of Trespass. It's a promotional copy. It is gatefold. And if I remember correctly, yep, it's a white label promo. Don't remember where I found this, but I've had this a long, long time. There's also a version of this, not only on the ABC label, but there's also a version of this on their Jazz Impulse label. I don't have one of those. I'd buy one if I saw it for a reasonable price. A Genesis album on the Jazz Impulse label, I'd like to have that. Their second album, Nursery Crime. This is a gatefold. This is a Canadian pressing. I'm not going to open it. It's just going to be so much work. Foxtrot. This is an American pressing of it with the gatefold. This was the first thing I heard by Genesis that I knew I was hearing Genesis. Watcher of the Skies, the first time I heard it, it stopped me in my tracks, scared me because it was exactly what I was wanting to hear. It was just what I wanted to hear. I think, 17. Just blew my mind. And so that has a lot to do with why I just love this band, and they're so special to me. So special to me. Genesis music has saved my life. I've been suicidal. I have attempted suicide 3 times. Genesis saved my life. Genesis live. Did you know that, Stephanie? This is really not a very good performance, just to be honest. Here's the same album, but this is an Italian version on the Charisma label out of Italy. Successo, so a reissue. Genesis Live. Here we have the best of Genesis, which is basically Nursery Crime and Foxtrot put together on the Buddha label. Selling England by the pound. Magnifique. This is a UK pressing. I'd like to have a gatefold Italian, but I don't. But this is in pristine condition. I've had multiple copies of this because I played the shit out of it. This is one of my all-time top albums. All-time. And I'm very pleased to have learned the guitar solo, Steve Hackett's guitar solo on Firth of Frith. Actually, I've learned quite a few of his solos. Love them. I've shown this a million times. Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Love that album. When Peter Gabriel left, it was like the end of the world. And so when they came out with Trick of the Tail, all was right. This album is so good. I remember when it came out and I heard it and I was thinking, my God, this is way better than I thought it possibly could be. And this is a US pressing on Atco. Right here, along with it, is Match of the Spot the Pigeon. This is the blue vinyl Canadian pressing. I don't have a black vinyl one, but this is okay. I'll open it. Great songs on here. Match of the Day is a great song. So this is the Canadian blue vinyl. Match of the Day. It's a great song. I don't tire of Genesis songs. Love this band. Love this band. Love their music. Seconds Out, US pressing. Saw this tour. Love those lights. Just like that live. Supper's Ready on this tour. It was so good to see Supper's Ready live. And although Phil Collins is no Peter Gabriel, he did an admirable job. And the band was phenomenal. Next, another fantastic Genesis band album, Wind and Wuthering, US pressing on Atco. All on a Mouse's Night, Blood on the Rooftops. Shit, that album kills. Next, considerably weaker and still good, and it's actually aged. This one's aged, and then there were 3. This one's gotten better over time. What do you say, Lazarus? For me, I like this album, but I was disappointed. But over time, it's gotten better. Matter of fact, the way this starts, wow, what a powerful, powerful intro. You know, the creeping keyboards, and then the way Phil explodes on the drums. People listen to this and stop the bullshit about Phil Collins being a sellout or just a Motown wannabe. Phil Collins is one of the greatest rock drummers of all time. Come on, y'all, give it up to that man. And then I got to thank Jeff Recordman in 1958. He blew my mind when he gave this to me. The Story of Genesis. Didn't know if I would ever come across this again to buy. And Jeff bought it for me. I can't find the words. That is my brother. Not just because he bought me the record, but because he understands. Matter of fact, he's my brother because he understands, not because he bought me the record. Love you, Jeff. Duke. On time. Track to track to track. This album is killing Genesis material. Fantastic album. Fantastic album. This is the UK version of Three Sides Live, and I used to have the US version, but I wanted this one because it has those, doesn't it have those non-LP B-sides? Well, there's something a bit different. Oh no, it's the American one that has those. This one has tracks, live tracks that the US one did not. So this is the UK version on Charisma. Then we have just plainly titled Genesis, but known as the Mama album. This is the US version. And as some of you know, I just recently found a Japanese pressing on Vertigo, Spaceship Vertigo. A wonderful addition to the Genesis pile. Next, I don't have all the versions of Abacab. I only have two. But here's Abacab. I have these two. So I got my eyes out. Still, it's dumb to those that don't understand, but I want all versions. And still to this day, if I come across the others, I'll buy them. Yeah, because it's fun. And I really like this album. Matter of fact, one of my favorite songs on this album is Another Record. That's a really good song. Keep going here. Time is going. Invisible Touch. This was a great, great, great show live. The Brazilian live was fantastic. Okay, now we get into 12 inches and some boots. I think there are some, maybe a couple more official. Well, anyway, here we go. We have No Reply at All. This is a promo, 12-inch of it. Nothing special about it, just it's No Reply at All, 12-inch. Here we have Mama. As you can see, it's, I'll show that, that's nice. On 12-inch on Virgin. And so as you see, you pull out the inside. It's Gonna Get Better is on the B side. Great, great song. Great song. Really liked the Mama album when it came out. It was just like Genesis were just going from strength to strength, in my opinion. They were just strength to strength. And so here we have Keep It Dark, 12-inch. This is cool because it has a non-LP B-side called Nami Nanu. It's instrumental. Sounds like it could be Brand X to me, which is quite the compliment to Genesis, if I may say. Here we have Feeding the Fire, Land of Confusion on 12-inch. Here we have the official UK 12-inch of Land of Confusion. Feeding the Fire and is on the B-side, yeah. This one has a 12-inch remix of Land of Confusion, which is a little hokey sounding now, but still it's cool, you know, to have it reworked. Hokey in my opinion. Here we have an interview album, kind of like what you showed Lazarus with Phil Collins, but this is Genesis called Tonight, 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 and it's the question and answers. One side is the question and answers unbanded. The B side is just the answers. And I'm going to open it because I don't think I have the something's in here. It might have the same as the one you have. No, it's just a letter here. It doesn't have the. Yes, it does. I thought it might. Yeah, here it has the questions and answers. So this is how they used to do it, folks. They'd send this stuff to the radio stations, and sometimes they'd play the question and answer, and then sometimes they'd be cheesy and fake like the local announcers actually talking to Genesis. You ever heard any of those interviews? Whenever they've done that here in Omaha, it was just so obvious because most Omaha DJs were just so lame. Yeah, I'm telling the truth. You know, Omaha has been such a cow town for so long. You know what I'm saying? And any other Omahans that watch this, you know I ain't lying. So they ain't nothing to get offended about. It's a big fucking cow town. You know, it's slowly getting better. Here we have a 12-inch of No Son of Mine. I don't have We Can't Dance on vinyl. Haven't seen it at a reasonable price, but found this when it first came out. And what's the B-side? Living Forever with an Invisible Touch live. Comes with a print on the inside that's suitable for framing. I also like the record because it has a custom label. And I do like that logo quite a bit. This album I was very pleased with because, once again, they pulled off the Genesis sound. They took it all the way back to the prog years on side 2 of this album. The long truck, I forget the name of it right now, but they do a long cut and it's a good one. Here we have in the Invisible Touch special remix on 12-inch. I showed you the 7-inch on clear vinyl. This has a special remix of Invisible Touch. Oh, I forgot. I have From Genesis to Revelation on a picture disc. That's what this is. It's a picture disc of Genesis, From Genesis to Revelation. I'm going to have to do this in another part. I gotta, wow.